Be excellent to each other and party on. We're back for another Legacy League, and today we're playing blue-black tempo with Troll of Khazad-dûm Reanimate combo built into it. Now, we're not going any bigger. We're not entombing Atraxa or doing anything like that, but we are often troll cycling early on and then reanimating troll, or using Reanimate to reanimate things that we put into our opponent's graveyard with Thoughtseize or through removal with Fatal Push. This deck is pretty heavy on permission. We've got the 4 Thoughtseize, we've got the 4 Days, we've got the 4 Wasteland, the 4 Force of Will. I've gone all the way up to a crazy 3 Brazen Borrower. A lot of people might think this is outlandish, but Brazen Borrower is pretty good. It stops Chalice of the Void, stops Leyline of the Void, all the different Void cards that hose our deck. And we did want to have a little bit more blue. We're at 19 blue cards, which is pretty low. But our sideboard is very blue. Let's take a look at the sideboard. So we've got anti-Eldrazi tech, Consigned to Memories. Those go without explanation, without further need for further explanation. We've got 2 Harbingers also against Eldrazi. We've got 3 Hydroblasts for Moonstompy. We have a Force Negation for combo. And we have our Nile Spell Bombs. I've got 3 of them. I think this is the best anti-graveyard card right now. I didn't want to use Leyline of the Void because sometimes it's not in your opening and it just comes out slow. Nile Spell Bomb has been great for me because a lot of the Dredge decks are playing a card called Shenanigans, and it can blow up if you have the Grafdigger's Cage, and we're not going to be playing Grafdigger's Cage because it interferes with our own combo. Nile Spell Bomb has a very low opportunity cost. You drop it, some point you just cash it in, draw a card, wipe your opponent's graveyard. We've got 2 Engineered Explosive. These are really good against opposing Chalice of the Void. They can also occasionally blow up pesky permanents like Carpet of Flowers if we're in a control matchup. Speaking of control matchups, I don't expect to win those, but Orcish Bowmaster's pretty powerful, and often Thoughtseize does get the job done. Nethergoyf is a recurring threat. A lot of times, if your opponent is not playing white exile removal, you can keep bringing back your Nethergoyf and you can finish them off that way. The creature count is kind of low here, considering that that Troll is more of a mana source than it is a creature. But I'm optimistic that we'll be able to disrupt and then protect the queen on a Nethergoyf or a Troll and win that way. And Brazen Borrower coming down late game is not nothing. Like, often I do win games by attacking with Brazen Borrower, so we may see that as well. We're going to play a full 5 rounds. As always, see you in round 1. I just want to point out that the league started like an hour ago or something like this, and this Khazad-dûm person, who I believe usually plays Eldrazi, I played against him a few times, already has a trophy. Shout out to Khazad-dûm. All right, we're up against a likely tempo gamer here. Playing a list very similar to what I've been playing a lot on this channel. Baragorf, very good. Grist, let's see if maybe we can reanimate something here. We do have Thoughtseize Reanimate. We've got plenty of land. We're on the play. I like it. I think what we want to do here is go ahead and Thoughtseize, and then maybe Thoughtseize again if necessary. We don't have to worry about them wasting us. Our deck is super low curve. Like, we almost never cast anything. I think Bowmasters is the top of our curve. So I'm not too scared of Wasteland as well. All right, let's go ahead and Thoughtseize here. If we can put a good creature in the yard, that'll be great. Oh, wow. Murktide could be an issue later. We don't actually have very many good answers to it other than just bouncing it repeatedly with Brazen Borrower. We do have 3 Brazen Borrowers. They have... I mean, my instinct is to go ahead and just... Let's see. They could play a Nethergoyf. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the... If I take the Nethergoyf, they might be able to bring it back. I'm going to take the Ponder to remove their ability to do selection. That does make the Nethergoyf bigger, but they were going to cast it anyway. Now we have to worry about double days, so we can only cast probably 1 spell this turn. And we don't really... I guess Brainstorm... We don't have a way to shuffle the Brainstorm. So now, based on their hand... I was thinking we were in a strong position. We're actually not in a particularly strong position. Now that Thoughtseizing us, they're probably going to take the Brainstorm here, because that looks at the most cards here. They took the Reanimate, which I'm not too broken up about because I didn't have anything to target with it. That could change. All right, that's a very mediocre top deck. I think we need to... I mean, I want to go ahead and just Brainstorm here, but I know they have double days. There's a chance that like I Brainstorm and then I Thoughtseize and they daze the Thoughtseize. They may not days, but they do have Nethergoyf in hand, so they should probably days. All right, I'm going to play the land that they know about, and I'm going to brainstorm. And of course, we're not going to be able to daze, but we didn't want to get this daze. So hopefully we can put back one of these and fetch. I would love it if they're considering forcing this, if they drew a force. I know their top deck was Thoughtseize, so I don't know what they're thinking about here. They do have the potential to aggro us here. I think what I need to do is take the Murktide second trip through, because we're not going to be able to deal with that. Okay, so the good news is we found a Brazen Borrower. That invalidates a lot of what our opponent's trying to do. Bowmaster is good. If they give us a chance to take their Murktide, I'm going to take it. I don't think they're going to give us a chance, but I don't want to... At the same time, if we just play slowly, their dazes never do anything. They are going to play a second island, and they could double daze something, though. I think I'm going to attempt to take the Murktide here, and if they counter it, that's totally fine. They could daze, and then they could just Nethergoyf next turn. But we'll be able to drop a... Okay, wow, they let me do it. I'm going to definitely take this Murktide here. I don't want to deal with it. All these things we're doing make the Nethergoyf bigger. And that could absolutely be our undoing here. So they have 2 dazes, Nethergoyf Island. One unknown. There's a Nethergoyf. So they do have double daze. Would they double daze a Brainstorm? If they do, it's really good for us. They don't have an instant in our graveyard right now, so dazing is beneficial to them. The issue is with those double dazes, I do feel like we just need to get whatever value we can. I don't want to get Bowmaster, so I'm going to go ahead and play the land out, and I'm going to ponder. And then next turn will be double daze proof, assuming they don't find a wasteland. We're just going to play super duper slow and hope that this Nethergoyf doesn't do enough damage. If we find a Nethergoyf of our own, it could be reasonably large too. Okay, Reanimate. Reanimate on Murktide, not the best play. If we play a Nethergoyf, they may be inclined to double daze. We could just wait on Nethergoyf. If they hit the Nethergoyf here, we can just reanimate it, which is pretty painless. I think that's fine. I'm going to put the Borrower back and do Bowmaster and then Borrower. Yeah. Okay. And now I'm just going to attempt to drop it. This could be perceived as reckless. I totally understand if like we're playing in a double daze. They are not dazing. Okay, that's great for us. Okay, they're fetching. They're probably surveilling here. I would love for them to put some sort of creature in the yard here that they can't cast, like a Barrowgoyf or something. They kept. Okay. At any time, they can make this bigger by dazing. I'm just going to take it. So they are definitely winning the race here. There's that island. Hand is 2 dazes, 1 unknown. Play this out. I'm going to go ahead and attack here. And I think during their turn, I'm going to attempt to borrow that back to hand just to save some combat damage. I can't cast any 3-drops, so I won't be able to play the front side of it yet. Yeah, I think I'm just going to do this. They could stick a Murktide later and really make me regret this, but... Okay, it's back. Oh, they're Thoughtseizing. That's fine. So we haven't found a land yet or gotten a creature in our yard. Now we have Bowmaster. We can't attack. Even if we borrow, it's not going to be good because they daze and suddenly this becomes a 4/5. So I'm just hoping they cast a cantrip here that we can spike somehow. I guess I could attempt to play this in the end step, and then if they double daze, then I have at least something in my yard. Because this is vulnerable to Bowmasters, which they're almost certainly playing. I am a little wary of playing out my own Bowmaster. Just because you want to be the second person to cast Bowmaster. Nethergoyf is coming in for an attack. So if we go ahead and play this out, we can ping. And they daze, and then we just double block. I think that's fine. And again, if they have their own Bowmaster, it's a blowout for sure. Do we actually block here? They don't have a spell they can daze. They could daze their own spell. No, I'm pretty far from bringing Nethergoyf back. Yeah, I think that what I just did was a mistake. I should have pinged them. I'm just going to let this through. Yeah, I don't think I should have even played this out. I think I should have stuck with my original plan of playing out the Brazen Borrower. So we're taking 3 here. Or 10. We are not winning the race right now, but we're not too far behind. There's their own Bowmaster. What a punish. So this is going to ping our Bowmaster. It will make a bigger Nethergoyf. But, yeah, we need to rip another Bowmaster right now or we're probably dead. Okay, and they have a second card. What is this? Battle Push. Okay. So this is one type away from coming back in. This Orc Army is kind of holding the fort. Ooh, wow. That's a really good draw, isn't it? Okay, so I think what I do is I go ahead and ping, and then I can attack. They can double daze this, but that's not enough. Reanimate's such a good card. My goodness. It's really good in any non-exile based removal scenario. I think we just come in for a hug here. And they are going to come in. Maybe that was a mistake. I want to apply pressure. Because they can attack us for 5 here. Yeah, I'm not going to block. So we're dropping a 3. Yeah, I don't think I should have attacked there. I think I should have held that back. Again, sorry, my excellent friends, for these small misplays. Okay, they drew a land, so their hand is double daze. So we should not lose this, but we're going to lose this because of my misplays. I think what we do is we can attack with the Bowmaster, and we can deploy this, and then this has to chump this. That's pretty bad. Oh, we don't have a land type. We can bring back a Nethergoyf. It'll be small, but it's something. I think that's probably better than playing this out. We do have to actually get a tappable land here. We can't get the Surveil land because we know they have double days. They've held it the entire game, and it would be a shame to turn it on now. Nethergoyf's coming back. 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, it can't come back. Yeah, because Nethergoyf is the other type. All right, well, I'm just going to go ahead and play this out now, I guess. Shameful. Yeah, sadly, I don't think I can attack. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're cooked here. Yeah, and I could have fetched the Surveil. No, I couldn't have. Not around double days. So let's say hypothetically I didn't make the big punt where I poked the Nethergoyf and instead poked them. They'd be at 9. I don't think that'd be like dramatic in terms of changing the flow of the game. Okay, let's say hypothetically we attack here. We hit them for 2. We block with Bowmaster. Then we can bring back Nethergoyf. It's really small, but at least we're pushing some damage and not just completely sitting still. We hold this back. They attack with both. We block here and then we block here. I think that's probably fine just to hold it back because I don't want to drop to 1. Yeah. And with Nethergoyf back on the table, we're a fatal push away from relative stability. Okay, they are attacking with both. I am going to hope that they don't have a Bowmasters, and I'm just going to do this play. If they have the Bowmasters, like, we're dead anyway. Okay, so now Nethergoyf can come back and chump. Barrowgoyf, not beating that. My goodness. That is a very powerful final card for them to have. If you can hear my son playing piano, that is an original composition. All right, and it's probably getting chopped up because whenever I stop talking... Oh, wow. Does this help us? I don't think it does. So what we can do is we can go ahead and hit the sky. There's nothing we can do to prevent the life gain. I'm just going to go for it. I'll hit in the sky. We bring back... Yeah, I think we're done. They have double days, so we can only do one of these things, and neither of them is going to be sufficient. With the life gain... it's a big deal. So now Spellbomb comes in. I think that's pretty good against their Nethergoyf slash... yeah, so I could bring all 3 of those in. Brazen Borrower is fine as a 3 of here, in my humble opinion. I mean, if we'd been able to like steal the Barrowgoyf, that would have been ridiculous. I think Daze is probably better than Force of Will. Engineered Explosives, how good would that have been? That would have blown up the 1-drop. They seem to be on a very similar list, but they're probably not playing Reanimate. They're probably just playing, good black creatures without the troll package. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave 1 force in, and we're going to do Dazes. We're not playing Tamiyo. That is one of the big omissions. We want to be beating face and not, teching up. We have like no card draw at all in the deck. We have no way to get ahead. Yeah, this is a mulligan. I do have to take time to look because Troll looks like it's not a land, but it actually is. Okay, so this gives us both of our basics. This is a turn 1 Nethergoyf. I think this is fine. I'm going to just put back the Underground Sea, and I'm going to go get a Swamp and I'm Nethergoyf, and then we'll have days up for their turn 2 plays. But I like to play on basics when they're clearly on a tempo deck. And this does mean that I'm not going to be able to just cleanly put anything back. They may force this. They're thinking about it. I don't have the ability to daze back, so this would be an opportunity to force if they have a slower hand and they don't want to get beaten down repeatedly. All right, we're in. Opponent's fetching. Island Ponder. Island Nile Spellbomb. Well, I can't counter that. So they can like Bowmaster Ping and then activate and make the toughness 0. All right, well, I think this is a situation where I want to just go ahead and Island Brainstorm, which is like a very, it sucks to do that, but I think that's the correct thing to do here. We're not going to risk getting Bowmastered when we're this low. Okay, and there's a Bowmaster of our own, and we can even Thoughtseize here. And then we can get a hit, and then they might exile our graveyard, but at least we got a hit in. I'm going to hide the Bowmaster. I think it's too important in case they Thoughtseize. Let's go ahead and Thoughtseize here. I might Daze to protect it. But generally they probably don't have, like, Bowmaster is the thing I want to take the most for sure. If they reveal that. I'm fine with dazing because I don't have any good play next turn. Okay. So Nethergoyf, quite good. If they surgical or brainstorm, that's pretty devastating. They do have black here. Yeah, I just don't want to deal with Nethergoyf. And this makes it so reanimates are going to be really good if I can find a reanimate. All right. So their hand is Nethergoyf, land. I wouldn't be surprised if they just land Nethergoyf here because their Nethergoyf will be as big as mine. It'll be a 3/4, right? If they crack this, it can definitely be bigger. But do they want to crack this? This is like one of the best cards in the matchup. Cracking the fetch. I haven't noticed any lag. So whatever the team did, it seems to have improved things. Ponder's fine. So I'm thinking next turn I'm just going to Fatal Push, and if they pop this, I can Brainstorm to give it some power. But I do want to get this out of the way. So yeah, we have a pretty good idea what their hand is. Surgical is questionable. They seem to think that I'm on a combo. Like really strong anti-graveyard. I am going to Brainstorm now because I don't want to risk getting hit with a Bowmaster, and I'll just float stuff on top of my deck. Troll is great. I think we float this Bowmaster. I don't really want to draw this Brainstorm at this point, so I'm going to just put it down here underneath the Bowmaster. Next turn, I have Troll, which buffs my Nethergoyf and will give them additional pressure to crack that. If they wait a turn to crack it, I'll need a land before because we know they have a daze there. So one of their cards that they drew is Delta. They are getting low in life. All right. We have to force this. Or we have to daze and then they're going to daze back. I still think it's worth doing. No, wait. Troll. We can daze to turn on Fatal Push next turn, but we need a land for that. Wait a second. See, Revolt has left the battlefield this turn. Okay. We can at least get the daze out of their hand, which gives us Murktide next turn, but we're going to need to actually find... What do we do here? How do we get that out of play? Yeah, I'm not going to throw away the daze. It'd be great if like Troll could grab a fetch. So what we can do is we can Troll. Yeah, I need to go ahead and do this. Okay, so hear me out. We know they have a daze in hand, but we have a daze as well. We get Underground Sea, play this out. We attack, they block, and then we can Bowmaster Ping and kill it. This is dangerous. But we do have daze to match their daze. I'm doing this because right now they're tapped out. I'm going to wait until my Nethergoyf is dead so they can't just crack the spell bomb and make it deal 0 damage. I want to get 4 damage on that. Now it's their turn to think really hard. What is this madman doing? Why is he attacking into my Death Touch? They should be able to surmise that I have a Orcish Bowmaster, but they won't necessarily know that I also have a daze. Again, this would have been really clean and simple if we just had a way to turn on Revolt, but Fatal Push is the challenge sometimes. You know what's safer than pushing here? Is just freaking Yeah, if they block, I'll just push it. No, I want to save the push for later. I'm so greedy. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely Boom Master here. They could have a second daze. I don't know that Surgical can screw me here. They could Surgical now with the damage on the stack. Or like, not the damage on the stack. That's an old thing. They changed the rules like a decade ago. So that's not a thing. But basically before damage, they could Surgical here. I think this Fatal Push is just invaluable against them. They are going to be able to bring back a Nethergoyf soon though. Because they'll be able to put instant in their graveyard type. So I do want to hang on to the Fatal Push for Nethergoyf. So yes, I've basically locked in that I am going to, assuming damage happens and this dies, then I am going to Fatal Push. Wait, they don't have instant in their graveyard, but I have instant in my graveyard. So the only thing that, wait, if they put artifact in the graveyard, then this survives. I didn't think about that because I don't have artifact in there. So I'm definitely going to need to Fatal Push this. My opponents thought about this for a very long time. I think it would have been much better to just wait for them to attack and then block and then push than to aggressively go in. But this way, their mana is tapped out. Obviously, the fact that it's made them think this long is a testament to how confusing this play is. They've thought for like 2 minutes. Okay, so I am just going to go ahead and push here. Okay. And now they can bring back another Nethergoyf, which I can daze. Okay. They may go ahead and try to bring it back. Actually, they don't have enough types. They still don't have instant in the yard. They have a Nethergoyf from hand. That's unfortunate. If I find a Reanimate, I can just reanimate their Barragoyf and it's going to be ridiculously strong. 4 card types. Yeah, I'm just going to bring it back. It's going to be Baby. I'm going to keep black up to confuse them as to what I have in hand. Okay, it's only a 2/3, but they're low enough in life that they're not super low in life actually because they gain life from the Barragoyf conflict. Yeah, so I don't think this is likely to deter their aggression at all. I think they're just going to swing in. You know what I should have done here? I should have wasted them because now they can bring back the other one. Okay, they're opting not to bring the other one back. I would love for them to crack this spell bomb. I left the black up. Maybe they Surgical Fatal Push thinking that I have a Fatal Push in hand because I kept the black up. I didn't think about that at the time when I kept the black up, but that would be a big brain play that I can maybe claim credit to if I destroy a copy of this video. Maybe my opponent's experiencing extreme lag, but like the last few plays have taken minutes. I hope there is a game 3 because I want redemption. And if there's redemption, we will be favored in the clock front. Okay, I think we drew Brazen Borrower, which is a good rip. I think I'm just going to come in for a hug first. Okay, they're not moving. I do think that I want to wait for their upkeep, and then I'm going to attempt to waste them. I'll probably waste this just so they can't get value out of reusing it. Floating a blue. Okay. They're coming in for another hit. So this is a window where I could just bounce it to hand. We know they have a daze, though. They could have a second daze. I'm going to keep black up because I want to keep lending credence to the theory that I have a Fatal Push in hand. They can just replay this. But this does keep them from playing another one. Okay, that's fine. This is bigger than what I'm capable of right now. But we did save ourselves 3 damage. Brainstorm. I can't punish that, unfortunately. Maybe it was a misplay to do this, but maybe they wouldn't be brainstorming had they not bounced that, you know? It's worth noting that they didn't have an instant in the yard, so it does make their Goyf bigger, so we would have taken more damage. Right? Reanimate's the best draw in the deck. If I force them to hit themselves, that'll be a coup. So unfortunately, our decision to waste them is keeping us off being able to cast this around days. So we're just waiting and hoping that we rip a land. I think they're multi-queuing here, which is dangerous when they've got 7 minutes on the clock, but that shows their relative confidence in winning this game. I mean, like, I have punted a couple times, and yeah, I think they're probably favored because they are playing like the more resilient mid-rangey version of the deck with Barragoyfs. Okay, we did get a land drop. I don't really want to use it. Yeah, I think we just do it. This will set us up for bigger plays next turn. I think I'm just going to keep the sewers here. No, I'm going to take the underground sea because I do want to be able to cast Bowmaster if they attempt to brainstorm or do anything like that. But we're one turn away from casting this. But if we're taking 4, we can only take 4 like 3 times. My opponent's back. They're attempting to fatal push my Goyf. Nothing I can really do about that. I'll let it happen. It's a 2-for-1 in the sense that I brought it back from the dead. I'm going to take 4. I would love to just get some value off this Bowmaster and not just put it in. I think I just be patient and wait. We're getting to the point where Reanimate is not a good draw anymore. I am going to go ahead and play it now just to deter them from being able to draw a card here. They can still draw a card if they want. Do they have another Fatal Push? Sudden Shielder's Edict. That is unfortunate. All right, and that's going to get wiped away too. We do get the Bowmaster ping, so we have a chump blocker for a turn. Now I think we just have to ponder here. It's possible they brainstormed and they got rid of this surgical extraction, which is not very good. Okay. Oh, actually, if I had dazed there, I could have prevented them from being able to draw a card. I'm not sure if that's good enough. Let's go ahead and ponder. So we're looking for a fatal push since we have a daze. Now Spellbomb's actually fine. I think I'm going to play it, and then I'll just daze if they attempt to counter it, and then I'll wait a turn, and then I'll drop it. Thoughtseize is bad, though. Yeah, I think I'm going to any order shuffle this. Oh, we got the Thoughtseize anyway. Yeah, it's a really bad card. I don't know about casting it here. I mean, we could cast it in worst case scenario. They just... Yeah, I'm going to do it. Maybe they let it resolve. Maybe they daze it. Okay, they let it resolve, and Shielder's Edict is in hand, so I definitely want to take that. All right. Now we're going to block here. We're super duper dead. My opponent's got 4 minutes on the clock, but I think that'll be enough. They've ripped a Wasteland, so that goes hand in glove with the daze. Yeah, we have to block here. Not looking good for our hero. Not going to be able to play this out. Not that it would matter. Is this another Nethergoyf? Murktide? I mean, either one will just solo us. Oh, they're just bringing back Nethergoyf. Yeah, that works too. Yeah, now drawing a Spellbomb would be quite good. But instead, we're dead. Good game. Round 2, we're up against a likely lands opponent. Not a particularly strong matchup for us. This hand seems fine. I don't like the Fatal Push, but we do have colors and we got Ponder. I'm going to keep. I am inclined to just get a basic. If they're on lands. The other option is we could make sure they're on lands. They were playing lands as of several months ago, so we're not sure. I'm just going to play this out, and we'll see what they do. Because surveilling, if we can surveil like a troll into the yard and then reanimate it, that's a very effective strategy against lands. They struggle to deal with troll. Well, actually, they have Maze of Ith, but we do have waste for that. Volk. All right, I'm going to surveil. Volk nothing usually means Sink and Show. So we want to erase that. Oh, that's perfect. To the grave. All right, so I think the best play here is just to reanimate, and we have days up. If they have force, that'll stop it, but that also stops us from losing a bunch of life. Yeah, I just don't want to get... Actually, I'm thinking... You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking we waste, and then we just reanimate. That turns off days, and then they have to have force. Brainstorm's fine. So they're getting an imperfect brainstorm here. Right, now we can go ahead and reanimate. See whether they have a force here. They do have a force. Now we can daze. It is worth dazing this back to our hand, even though it is a tempo negative play. We got a troll on an open board. Yeah, that all worked out really well. They're likely 3 swings from death, considering they're probably going to need a fetch and force and do stuff like that. Okay, Brainstorm's a good rip. I do want to, I guess, Underground Sea, Ponder, just to try to, and then we have a shuffle if we don't want to keep all those cards. I'm going to go do this now. Looking for force. Thoughtseize is a great rip. So we don't want this land, so we'll put that on the top. We'll put this on top as well, and then we'll take the Thoughtseize. Now we'll swing. And if they are on Sink and Show, Thoughtseize is like the best thing in the world. I actually think this deck in general is pretty favored against Stinky Show. Brainstorming again. Another imperfect brainstorm. You love to see it. That's a Delver. Okay. So they are on Delver. They got the white border ones. Ugh. Makes my skin crawl. Okay. So I think we definitely want to shuffle. They could have double days. I'm just going to go into this now. Underground Sea. We're going to Fatal Push. Just like getting this out of the way. Okay, and now I'll go ahead and go to combat with Brainstorm into a potential force if we need it. Now I think the safest thing to do is go ahead and Thoughtseize. And if they daze this, that's totally okay. Because that'll set them back mana-wise. Okay, that's totally okay. They could have just like, you know, Ancient Tomb into Show and Tell. That's like something they could have that could win here from here. But if they're actually on Delver, which it looks like they are, they're just like on the slowest Delver I've ever seen. That's hyperbole. I've probably actually played Delver where I just didn't have any threats. Happens from time to time. Okay, I'm going to assume they're on Delver. Spell Bombs come in. Harbinger's quite good against Delver in my experience. Thoughtseize, quite bad against Delver. So, Hydroblast, of course, comes in. It's great. I think we can take out our forces completely. Daze is good. Like, we're a tempo deck and I want to lean into Daze. Yeah, I think everything else is fine. Basic Island into Ponder. I think this is a keep. We have lots of ways of finding Swamp. If you count our trolls, we have 21 lands in the deck. In practice, troll is not a land, but once we get a Basic Island, we are pretty guaranteed to have a land in play for when we need to troll cycle later. Bobble. Happy that they're doing all this without a DRC in play. We're on the draw. I'm going to be conservative. I'm going to spend a turn pondering. The heads up play would be to daze this because we don't have anything else going. Holy cow. Spellbomb's so good against them. Do I want the second daze? Not really. I want to put that on the bottom of the stack. And I'll just take that Delta now. But next turn should be really good because not only does playing out a Spellbomb, you know, nuke their graveyard, which is an extremely valuable resource for them, but it also means that Goyf is going to be even bigger. So I'm definitely looking to nuke their graveyard sooner rather than later. In fact, I think next turn cycle, I don't want them to do the trick where they like daze and then, oh, they don't have a wasteland. So I think it's totally fine to just do this and withhold what else we're going to do here. So they would need to do several things to get enough cards in the graveyard. So if they crack this fetch, then I will Spellbomb them to stop Murktide from coming out, but I'll just chill for a turn. If they Surveil or something, that's extra cards that we're getting rid of. Hedge Maze. Okay, so they're 3-color. Interesting. All right, Upkeep. I am going to go ahead and just hit it now. This helps DRC. It accomplishes a lot of things. They're not presenting like Troll or Bowmasters or anything, so I can keep the mana up until the actual ability goes on the stack. It's an important thing. Draw a card. Troll. That's great. That gives us the Troll Reanimate combo. Troll Reanimate is just so strong. Like, I can understand why some people are saying Patrol should be banned. I don't think it needs to be banned, but it is really good. Seek the Beast. That is a slow thing. I'm okay with them doing slow things. The cards they exiled are Land, Murktide. Those are both good, but they're doing this during their main phase after they played a land. So they're not going to be able to do either of those things. That is pretty catastrophic for them. So now those, we just don't have to worry about those anymore. Yeah, I'm not sure that I agree with that play. Okay, Wasteland. Cutting them off green might be worthwhile so they can't cast this. And it just completes the circle of life of them. Yeah, I'm going to do this. And I think Nethergoyf can come down. And hopefully we just never have to deal with that because usually that's a one-of. Yeah, I'm going to Nethergoyf here. I'm playing a little slower and more conservatively because I think they likely have days. Nethergoyf is a big boy now. He can't get bolted. He can just laugh at Bolt. If you ever seen the movie Sin City at the end when they're the guy's in the electric chair and they like shock him and he's just like, ha ha ha, you can't do anything right. And he survives and then they have to shock him again. Yeah. That's what Nethergoyf would do. He would do his best. Like, I don't know if that was Mickey Rourke. I don't know who that was. Okay. I mean, Troll Reanimate is a thing. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and play this out. I'm going to attack, and then I can troll cycle now for maximum damage. Let's grab a Underground Sea. I don't want things coming into tapped. Okay, they take 4. They are opting to waste. There's no reason to waste here, but it's fine. The best time to waste is after you've drawn your card during your turn when you have a good idea of what you're going to be doing. So I think the simple thing to do is just go for the Reanimate now. This puts a lot of damage on the table. They may have to force this, and if they force, it's okay. It saves me 6 damage, and it's a 2-for-1. Surgical Extraction. That does it too. It's a clean 1-for-1. They get to see my hand. I'm fine with that. They paid 2 life. Surgical ain't what it used to be. All right, and they correctly exiled the troll, so I don't get it. I've made the mistake before of like, oh, I got all the trolls out of the library, forgetting to click on the actual one that they were targeting. It's very embarrassing. The reason I say surgical ain't what it used to be is because nowadays everybody's using, Memory's Journey and stuff like that in their degenerate combo decks. So surgical doesn't really accomplish that much. Now Spellbomb's still quite good. All right, the Wasteland. Delver. I mean, I have a Bowmaster. I have a Bowmaster. Of course I'm going to Bowmaster that. Maybe they just don't have a play. Let's just go ahead and do this now. If they counter this, this buffs the Goyf. They are forcing. It's totally chill, totally fine. Let's go in with our 4-drop, or our 4-power 1-drop. It's a big difference. They're wasting again. Again, not like a good use of waste in my humble opinion. You just want to wait until you've drawn your card during your upkeep. or during your main phase. Okay, so let's see what they reveal here. I have a Fatal Push. If I need to get it out of the way. They don't reveal. I feel like they're pretty dead. But I don't know that Bowmaster is going to resolve here. And that gives me pause. I do think it's worth going for it. Just because if they don't have days, then we 2-for-1. Oh, right. Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and just do this. Dirt onto the casket. All right. Good games. Yeah, that's more like we want these games to go. Basically blue-black tempo, but without Tamiyo. Just balls to the wall aggression. That's what I'm aiming for here. See you in round 3. Oh, round 3 is already going. Morsaw, very chill player of many decks. I think they're in... Man, which of the mini Discords are they in? Okay, so they've been playing a lot of blue-black. Okay, so yeah, like I definitely talked to him a lot in the, I think, in the Espervile, which is like, this is like the furthest thing you could be doing from Espervile here. And of course, we're going to cheat and look at their list, and they do have 4 Wasteland. So, I mean, I can't throw back a hand this juicy. I think we're just going to drop the land, and we're going to chill for a turn. And we can surveil and find another land. And then we have Brainstorm to help us find that land. I think if they're on this list, they're not playing blue. So we don't have to worry too much about days. By the way, if you're Morsaw's mom and you're watching, hi, Mom. All right. So very important to kill. Like if they play the Lynx. I think Thoughtsu is fine. If they want to take my Brainstorm, they can take it. I'm going to surveil and hope to hit a land. But like I would definitely take a Brainstorm if I were looking at my opponent's hand and it looked like this. Yeah, and they agree. So there's a very real chance that we're going to get wasted out of this game. That's the chance you take. Undercity Sewer. We're looking for a troll, looking for a land. 21 hits, or 20 left, 19 left in the deck. Come on. All right, or we can just die, which is unfortunately what we're likely to do here. I don't think it was wrong to keep this hand, but if they have the Wasteland, they have it. If they give us a creature, then what I'll do is I'll push and I'll daze it back to hand. But they should waste first before they do anything, just in case. Okay, we're not getting wasted, thank goodness. They're not doing anything, which makes me think they have Bowmaster. All right, we got there. So now we can chill, and we can Bowmaster their Bowmaster. Not that it really affects them, but it does affect us. Oh, they don't have the Bowmaster, or they're choosing not to play it out, which is fine. If they don't play a land, I probably will instep Bowmaster, because this matchup doesn't get any better for us the longer it goes on. They do have a land. So now I can't daze to protect my Bowmaster, and I don't know that I want to pitch to save a Bowmaster. Uh-oh. So I think we go ahead and we just play the Bowmaster first. And now we're super vulnerable to their Bowmaster. Just have to see what they name here. If they have a Bowmaster, they can sack their Bowmaster token. They chose Daze. Okay. So now we're going to have to play on hard mode, pitching one of our Brazen Borrowers here. Okay, so then we are going to get 2 for 1 by their Bowmaster. If it's not a Bowmaster, I probably won't force it, and I'll just untap and Fatal Push it. But I think it probably is. Oh, a Johnny. Whenever one or more cats you control die, you may exile. So I do have to stop this because immediately it's therapied. And they immediately get the Planeswalker. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I would have liked to untap and kill it, but that therapy is going to be a serious problem for us. It's really strong. So I'm going to go ahead and Troll Cycle here. How likely do they play Magus of the Moon? I actually don't see any stuff like that in their sideboard or in their main deck. So I think we're probably cool to go ahead and grab this. Knight of the White Orchid, or not White Orchid Phantom is a card they may play. And that's actually totally fine because we have basics that we can get when they hit us with them. So we are coming in, doing a little damage. Desperately hoping they don't have more of these. Or Bowmaster. Either one is bad news for us. This is structurally extremely unfavored for us. They not only have these powerful creatures, but they also have access to white removal, which is very bad for our troll plan. There is a possibility that they just have nothing going on over there. I want to push damage. Again, I don't think this gets better for us. It's totally possible that they just Bowmaster now and blow us out. But I want to do as much damage as quickly as possible, and this is an extra damage attacking like this. Okay. Felia, that's fine. They know that I have Fatal Push, but they're just getting through it. They're plowing out my creature. That's fine. Yeah, you don't let Felia live. She's too strong. And if you want to see Felia in action, I've got tons of videos of her. She's in my Esper Vial deck. So what they're playing is kind of like Vial without blue. No, never mind. Because they're just on the 60 card versions. They're not playing Vial. All right, these don't do anything. They're just basically 1/1s. My opponent doesn't draw cards. They get card advantage through other means. Staff. Oh, they do draw cards. What do you know? I didn't notice that in their list, but yeah. So they're basically Mardu tokens, I think is what the list is called. It may be a deck in a different format. They can name Borrower here. And we're hellbent, but we are attacking for 2. And we have locked their Storyteller out for now. They could have another Felia for sure. That would be something to have here. I am not going to relent. Okay, they didn't. So our hand is blank, but it's basically our piddly offensive versus the top of their deck. Okay, broadside's fine. I am fine with that. They may throw something at one of our Bowmasters, or they may just hold back to block the saddest broadside. Okay, we're 1 card away from actual Hardcast Force, so I guess I'll play that out. I'm not going to attack into broadside. We're just going to stare at each other for a few turns until they unlock the game state. A freaking Reanimate would be insane here, deck, if you want to hook me up. If they attack, I can't double block because they can just throw this at it. Broadside number 2. They can throw broadside. Okay, what is this last spell? Therapy. Okay, they're going to name something. Doesn't really matter what they name. They actually named Force of Will correctly. Unlucky for us. But I mean, it does make sense. It would be something that I hold. So it's not total luck. There is some skill in naming that. So we're just going to take it. Not throwing the staff. I mean, the staff is a big part of their deck. They are racing us at this point. Like you can throw 1 broadside from the other and deal 5 damage. Okay, they are choosing to hit our Bowmaster. Oh, you're killing me, deck. I'm going to play it out. I'm going to attack. There's no... Yeah, we're just F6 here. At their mercy. But we kind of knew that within the first few turns. I've been talking all defeatist to Mopey and stuff. So you shouldn't be stunned that I'm getting my butt kicked. And they're drawing lands too, which they probably don't want to see that many lands. Okay, this is a big permanent season Pyromancer. Gives them the ability to draw and discard. So they're just throwing for the trigger. Okay. They got 2 cards, staff. I think we're done here. Even if I find Reanimate, I'm so low in life that it's not going to be enough. Let's see what Brainstorm kicks up. Oh, yeah. I don't think killing one of them is enough. They've got their engine online. They've got a card in hand and another card at the ready. Okay. So again, I don't expect to win these types of games, but we're going to try. Spellbomb doesn't do anything. Hydroblast is quite good here. So I think we'll bring in all three of the Hydros. Harbinger does... I mean, they have a lot of non-basics, and they don't use blue at all, so it feels pretty good. Daze... I think Daze is not great. I don't really like playing Thoughtseize at all against the... they get to help him pretty quickly, and they're doing a lot of damage. Like a Broadside deck, Thoughtseize is pretty bad against Broadside. I'm thinking about cutting it. And then I'd probably cut a Daze. Trying to think, if we Thoughtseize and then we reanimate one of their creatures, that's pretty good. They're playing Plow. They're not playing Prismatic Ending, as far as I can tell. Path to Exile. I mean, all their creatures are 2-drops. Staff's a 2-drop. Not everything's 2-drop, but there are enough 2-drops that I'm kind of thinking that maybe we could bring this in instead of a Daze and get a 2-for-1. Is that any good? They've got the 4 Wastelands. I mean, we're not that in that much danger of getting wasted out of the game. Like, it was definitely exaggerated. I'm not saying I was doing it for dramatic effect or anything, but yeah, I think we just leave that out, and I'll cut a Force. That way we still have the Dazes in case we can play the tempo plan. They do have a lot of non-basics. They've got, let's see, 1 Swamp, 1 Plains, 1 Mountain, as you should. You should never have multiples of basics, in my humble opinion, if you're playing a 3-color deck. This is fine. Nethergoyf. Yeah, I'll just beat in with Nethergoyf. Next turn I can Undercity and maybe find something. Yeah, I'm going to keep. And if they waste, that's fine too. Will I force to protect Nethergoyf? I don't really have anything else going on. I think it's probably okay. They have 4 Orcish Bowmasters, so pitching a Brainstorm is not the end of the world. Therapy is fine. I'm going to let it go, and I'm going to hope they don't name Brainstorm because I don't want to lose 2 cards. They named Brainstorm. Man, Warsaw is just ridiculous at therapy names. Like blind name Brainstorm instead of Force of Will when, yeah, it's good. All right, so they've seen our hand. They know that we have Hydroblast here. They don't know that we have Daze. Might be able to get some advantage there. Yeah, I mean, just right off the bat, this could be a 3-for-1 or more. Definitely getting some value here. I think we put this in the graveyard so we can hit harder, and we can bring it back later. What I'm looking for is Troll Reanimate. Ideally, I think we really need to race them here. Unfortunately, this is going to go through. Yeah, and now they know about the Daze too. Probably take the Hydroblast and just play around the Daze. Unless they're in a hurry. All right, it's not nothing. I'm going to swing in first. How many Nethergoyfs does it take to KO a Mardu player? Fetching down to 12. Shadowy Backstreet. Almost their entire curve is at 2. So I think I do probably just pitch Daze at the soonest opportunity. Also, having it in my hand is a liability because of Cabal Therapy. Finding a troll, finding a land that, like a Wasteland would be good here. Lots of things that we could potentially draw. They may have Felia in hand. Another Daze. Okay, well, I'm going to come in for a hug. Bowmasters. I could just double Daze this, and then I could get a Surveil trigger. I think that's actually perfectly reasonable use of my mana here. So this resolves. Now we're going to go ahead and Daze a second time. And that may seem aggro, but that represents them therapy, pain, shredding my hand further. At least we can draw closer. Yeah, we don't want that. So now we have a lot more power on the table now. So they know my hand is not threatening. If they have the Nakatl Pariah guy, a Johnny Nakatl Pariah, something like that, that would flip the script here. Okay, they're just passing with probably another Bowmasters in hand. I think what we do is we go and attack, and then we can reanimate their Bowmaster. I'm trying to think of what they could do to kill. I'm going to go ahead and come in. No, we should have freaking reanimated first because we would have been able to do lethal. That was a punt. Yeah, Yeah, that was dumb. Do as I say, not as I did. Okay, there is Felia. Now we're pretty priced into just reanimating our own Nethergoyf, unfortunately. Okay, they're blocking. This is great for us. Because I definitely didn't want Felia to blink their Bowmaster. That would have been bad. All right, so knowing that they have Felia up, I think we still take the Bowmaster just to go wide. Because at the very least, we're doing damage to them and we're putting more cards on the table that can kill them. But yeah, it was a huge punt not to just Bowmaster beforehand. It may have changed how they played. Okay, we got it. I will take even getting one game on this deck. I think they're just extremely favored against us. So I think Daze comes out completely on the draw. I think we could bring a force in. It was good there. Thought seizes. Maybe we do want the engineered explosives. I don't know. I'm not convinced. I think I'm going to bring the thought seizes back in. All right, I thought about it, and I'm going to actually cut one of the forces as well in favor of a thought seize. And we're going to hope to get some of the better cards out of their hand. I mean, if we do have a lot of risk reanimating their cards. Oh, I think this is okay. We might be able to screw them in terms of mana. We have good mana on ourselves. We just have to hope for a slow start from them. We can float a wasteland out there, and that'll deter them getting a surveil land. Oh, wow, they have surveil land to start. Okay, well, I'm definitely going to waste that. Goblin Bombardment. Sacrifice a creature. Goblin Bombardment deals 1 damage to any target. Yep, powerful in a token deck. Yep, I'm just going to do this. It's negative. It's tempo negative, but not really, considering that they didn't actually get to tap that for mana. Right, they're fetching. They don't have very many. Wow, they actually went for that. Yeah, take a gander. I'm just going to waste them again. Hydroblast, probably the best take. They took the Ponder. Yeah, let's just see if we can cheese. We're drawing lots of lands. This sucks. Yeah, we're going to need a brainstorm to fix our hand. And if the cheese doesn't work, then we're in trouble. We have no way to capitalize on the cheese as well. Okay, they did find a land. Okay, so we have to hope that that's their last one. Reanimate would be great. Or we could draw another land. Yeah, at this point, I'd probably welcome their wastelands. If they want to start wasting us. They have seen our hand, though, so they know that we have land. But I think we've drawn 2 lands since they last saw our hand. All right, they are fetching. So we can guess that they're probably not going to be casting red spells here into our Hydroblast. Another scrub. I don't want no scrubs. Drop the plateau. So I think it's highly likely that they have Felia. Again, I'm not expecting them to have any sort of Blood Moon type effects, so I'm being kind of fearless about that. Maybe you could even say Cavalier about that. Let's go ahead and attempt to bring back our troll. Oh, no. Yeah, that works. That works. So we still lose a life. Oh, no. Yeah, that's really good. I haven't seen this in a while because it's too slow, frankly. Like, it's way slower than just doing Grafdigger's Cage. All right, they don't seem... Well, they haven't played the land yet, but they may have a land. So it's possible we did cramp their mana a little bit. But this Containment Priest... Okay, yeah. So, let's see if they waste us. I want them to waste us. Yeah, go ahead. Take all our stuff. We have a terrible hand. Yeah, and our troll got exiled too, which is a real bummer. Because now it doesn't feed the Goyfs. We're just getting completely owned this turn, this game. I think, yeah, this is really bad. Definitely need a fatal push for one of these, and that only addresses one. We're hastening our demise with this Thoughtseize, but what are we going to do? We don't have much choice. I am going to use it. Bowmaster, well, I'm glad I got that. My goodness, that would have been even worse than what we're going through right now. Okay, so we're taking 4. They could exile this to buff the thing, but they'll probably just not. It's interesting that these are like disynergous, if that's a word. Like, they can blink stuff, and then when it comes back in, it doesn't come back in, if that makes sense. But that maybe they want to do that because that hits opponents' stuff. All right, I am going to surveil here. This is like the draw to rule them all. Basically, if, I'm not even sure what we could find here. We need Fatal Push That's going in the graveyard. I'm glad I dodged that. Yeah, Fatal Push is not good enough. Reanimate, good games. Yeah, they completely destroyed us. I wish them GGs since we had a lot of conversation. All right, let's go to round 4. So we are currently, I think, 1-2. Yeah, not the greatest showing, but we did get at least one bad matchup. All right, we're on the play against an unknown opponent. We have a great hand if they're on oops, but I never keep no-landers. It's just like a standing policy, even if it's a wasteland. Yep. This hand is not terrible. We have a opening Thoughtseize. Even if they waste us, we have a troll to pick up, and then we have the troll reanimate. So I'm going to keep this, and we're going to put back the Fatal Push. I think it's probably the least, hopefully it's the least important card in the deck. There is a possibility that Force will be very important. You know what? No guts, no glory. I'm putting back the Force. These other cards do stuff with black mana. I'm just going to go ahead and Thoughtseize right out of the gate. But like a Force without another blue card, like we're not guaranteed to draw blue cards. We only have 19 in our main deck. Okay. So Entomb, pretty critical here. They do have a good hand though. They can take our Reanimate. If they Thoughtseize, Metamorphosis Fanatic can only focus on their graveyard. I mean, if they were to Entomb, we could Reanimate, but... Okay, so next level thing is to let them Entomb. No, they'll do that in step and then they'll Reanimate. Yeah, I need to take this. All right, yeah. They've got a good hand, though. We do have Wasteland if they get greedy and get a non-basic. And I think they probably do need to. All right, so... Here's our opportunity. We don't think that they have anything going on over there. I could troll and then reanimate now. I'm going to go for it. And this is almost certainly going to make them think that they're in the mirror. Let's get another Underground Sea. Reanimate here. Do you have the daze? Did you magically draw it? They could brainstorm into a daze. They are brainstorming here. Okay. If I'd kept the Force, by the way, that would have been good because we would have ripped a Force, and this Fatal Push probably isn't going to matter, but it might. Nethergoyf is very powerful here. Okay, we got it. All right. So we're going to be able to waste, and they're going to be on their back foot to say the least, but nothing is assured. It's worth noting that they brainstormed they could have put back Metamorphosis Fanatic, probably looking for another land. However, they did just Delta for this, so... Anybody's guess. Borrower, potentially Dynamite against them. Okay. I'm going to wait on Troll Cycling for a moment. I'm going to go ahead and swing first. The reason I'm going to wait is I don't want them to be able to do something dastardly. Okay, they take 6. They drop to 12. We're going to end step. Worried that they could have some trick here with the mana, but I'm just going to go ahead and hit it. They may Troll Cycle here. They're entombing. I cannot stop that. It is very scary because if they have found... so we know Metamorphosis Fanatic can't be on the top unless they get... they won't have the mana for it. But if they have a land and are able to play a track so we can bounce it out of play, but we're still probably going to lose because we're going to get so much value in the process. But Reanimate is fatal probably because Troll can attack right around Atraxa. That's fine. They're going to go get a land. They do have Reanimate. They're dead. I'm trying to think of how they wouldn't be dead here. So I'm going to let this resolve. They lose 7, and we're going to hit them for 6. They've already made their land drop. What they are doing here, they're showing us a bunch of stuff, but it doesn't really matter. Unless I'm fundamentally misunderstanding how their deck works. Which I don't think I am, considering I've been playing against their deck for more than a year at this point. Choose Force of Will, Reanimate, Snow Covered Island. Okay, so... I mean, I might as well be inefficient, but I'm pretty sure there's nothing they can do here. We don't have perfect information of their hand, but we do have a pretty good idea. We got an Underground Sea here. They only got 3 cards. Force, Reanimate, Snow Covered Island. Okay. I don't think any of this matters. I think they just die here to the Mega Menace. Illegal blocking. Troll of Khazad-dûm can't be blocked except by 3 or more creatures. They keep trying it. Okay. Getting game 1 against Reanimator feels great. It's the best deck in the format, in my opinion. We bring in our spell bombs for sure. I think all these cards are going to play a role except Fatal Push. Fatal Push. They did have Barrowgoyfs. I'm loath to take out Days, but I think it's correct. Let's play around Days, their Days, and I'm not going to count on my Days to get there, not on the draw. But I'll keep 1 Days in. I don't think Harbinger helps. None of these do anything, really. Force Negation is not good enough, in my opinion, because we are going to be firing back and forth and trading blows and stuff. Yeah, I'm going to do this. All right. This is a great hand. We're on the draw. We've got Force. I think if we stick a Nile Spell Bomb, that's going to be really big, but we do kind of maybe need to take a turn off for Troll. We'll see what they do here. Ponder. The main reason is, like, I don't want to get wasted out of the game. And they play Wasteland annoyingly. Like, they're a combo deck that can basically play all the awesome cards that we play. Except they also have an I win button in their deck. Land would make it a lot easier. I'm just going to play this out, and I'm going to chill. We'll use this to pay for Days mana. We'll use this to Troll Cycle if they waste us. But we know they're not going to Entomb here. They could Entomb and then Reanimate and then also have the Force. They sometimes just have the Nut Draw like that. End step, we are going to Troll Cycle. Let's get another Underground Sea. We can't afford to get screwed off any of our colors here. I'm going to play this first. So we have two options. One, we could just play the Nile Spell Bomb, which I think is pretty important against their deck. I think I'm going to start with the Reanimate. And if you're a seasoned blue-black Reanimator player and you're like, you should have held that, you could have gotten more value out of it, let me know in the comments, please. Okay, we were in, and now I'm going to attempt to stick the Nile Spell Bomb. And if they daze it, so be it. They are dazing it, looks like. And maybe I should have prioritized resolving this rather than resolving this. We do have the Forces protection. We have Braze and Borrower to get stuff out of play if necessary. Are they going to Entomb? They are Entombing, I believe. Oh. I think I'm just going to force this. And we could get blown out by double days or a Force of their own. Yeah, they have a Force of their own. Okay. So it's a 2 for 2, but we have a Troll back in our hand. We're not hitting for 6 next turn, and we're at 13. So weak to their Trolls, potentially. I think next turn we Troll Cycle, we Nethergoyf. They have a land that they haven't cast yet. Okay, so they may actually be able to get their own Troll into play this turn. And if they use their Reanimate that way, I'm going to hope that my Brazen Borrower can get through. Yep. So we're just taking turns borrowing one another's Trolls. So I don't suspect that they have days based off of the Force. They could have certainly drawn it. I'm going to Troll here first because I need to get the mana anyway. And then we're going to just go ahead and borrow. And we're not planning to take any hits from this if we can avoid it. And if they have a counter for this, that's probably go to game 3. Oh, okay, great. So we have a mana advantage. They have more cards. Land. Okay. Okay, so I think we test the water with a Ponder in case they have a Bowmaster. And if they Bowmaster, I can just cleanly Bowmaster their Bowmaster. That is fine. All right, and again, we don't believe they have a Daze, so we're going to try this. If they do have a Daze, it's a pretty big blowout considering the composition of my hand. But I think we just got a little bit farther ahead. They have a lot more reanimation effects than we do, of course. These are insane, and I will be keeping them. We could just double Nethergoyf next turn and basically put them to, like, in serious jeopardy. I'll take the Force now, just in case they have some crazy ejection button that I haven't thought of. If they play out their Borrower, our Bowmaster will make quick work of it. Swamp Cycling. They have tons of mana, but they have 2 cards in hand after this is over. Well, I mean, technically, like 2 cards plus the land they grabbed. They grabbed Undercity Sewer. We have Bowmaster Supremacy. They bin another Troll. They're passing. I'm going to just block here. If they Bowmaster, I'll force it. That is fine. I can Brainstorm into a Bowmaster and then take that out so it doesn't hit us. Not sure if that's too aggro. You could also just drop a bunch of Nethergoyfs that are 4/5s. I think that's fine. So I'm going to hit, and any cantrip they cast kills their borrower. Now we're going to do something their deck can't do, which is play a 4/5 for 1 mana that doesn't have any sort of like drawbacks, doesn't cost us any life or anything like that, and can keep coming back. So I'm feeling pretty good about our position, so long as they do not find a reanimation effect. We even can pay for days if we need to. They're not dead on board, but they're going to be very close. I'm just going to swing with everything, and then I will be ready to Bowmaster this. They're at 2. This shuts off the remaining 3 reanimates in their deck. We could force this to force damage through, but I think it's totally fine to let this resolve. They're taking 5 here. I am going to Bowmaster first because I want to ping this out of existence. They're so low that I'm tempted to just not play this Nethergoyf and keep this up as a way to pay for days in case they have days. I think I'm going to do that. I just would hate to lose at this point. And Tomb is fine. We will force the reanimation effect. They already have plenty of targets in their yard. I don't actually think we could survive Archon if they are able to protect it somehow. They did get Archon. So Archon comes into play. It kills this. They draw. We get 2 new ones. They take 2 damage. They draw. They gain 3. Yeah, we did it. Clean. All right. We're 2-2 going into the final round. Final round, we're 2-2 up against an unknown opponent. I am going to mulligan this Force of Will hand that doesn't have anything but Wasteland in it. On the play, be gentle. Okay, gosh. This is super duper risky, but I actually think we keep this. We have the ability to surveil, and we can just waste them consecutively several times. Against some decks, this just doesn't matter. It's just not good. But I don't want to throw back and get a hand that does nothing. There are a lot of decks where this sort of hand is just not going to work. I think we throw back the Swamp. Then we can open Delta. We can fetch either land. And then we'll have another color if they waste us. But I'd like to get a Surveil here to get a little bit of selection going. Hedge Maze. Okay. That's good because we can waste that. They've been to Wasteland. Interesting. Well, I think that probably means they have a Wasteland, and I'm going to welcome them wasting me here. Again, it is possible that we get into a Wasteland fight, and they have even more lands than I do. I think this is a non-land card that may be able to do something. I think we keep it. I think there's a likelihood that Murktide's in my opponent's deck. Let's go ahead and push. So we do have the option of waiting, and then we could push something to play that's higher mana value, but I don't think that's correct. I think it's unlikely they'll get something that's higher than 2 mana value into play that we need to push here. Okay, looks like they are wasting us, which is totally fine. I'm going to float. All right, so we don't have a target for our Wasteland, which is unfortunate. We just have to kind of float our... I do think we float the Wasteland out instead of playing the Underground Sea here. And if that makes them fetch around it, that's okay. It's unfortunate, but they did bin a Wasteland, and if they had a second Wasteland, that'd be catastrophic. We did find the Reanimate, which is going to be a great card, considering they haven't opened like Leyline or anything like that. We have no reason to suspect them having main deck graveyard stuff. Okay, they don't have lands. This is great for us, but only if we can capitalize on this momentum. We need a troll. Oh, yes! Thank you for discarding that. Yeah, I think we just reanimate it. I can even do this and be insulated. I'll just put this on the table, make their cantrips harder when they do find land. They force this, that's okay. It's a 2-for-1. Yep, that is okay. All right. Again, I don't want to get cocky because they can rebuild once they find land. Screw beats flood, as they say. They're drawing, potentially live cards. The pitch to force was a ponder. I'd love to find another Reanimate, another Hymn to Torok. Troll's good. I think we go ahead and troll and we hide the fact that we have a second land. There's no reason when they have nothing out to not just go ahead and... Yeah, so I'll go get an Underground Sea here. What I was going to say is it's better to hold this up. There's no benefit to holding a Wasteland up. It can be used to deter, if they have a fetch, deter them from fetching a Surveil land. I suspect they're on Bug Beans. There's the basic island, the Ponder. We can't punish, unfortunately. They will almost certainly want to Murktide that Bowmasters away so they don't have to worry about us playing it. Traditionally, Bug Beans does not play Brazen Borrower. Okay, let's find a reanimation effect. I'd love to put these cards back. Okay, Nethergoyf's not bad. I think I'm going to put back the Wasteland and the Underground Sea, and then... No, wait. I'll keep the Underground Sea because I don't think Fatal Push is good against their deck. They have Bowmaster as their sole creatures, most likely. Now I'm just going to go ahead and ponder here. We're most likely just going to shuffle these cards unless we see something exceptional like a Reanimate. I think that's a shuffle. Another Fatal Push that we don't really want, but Nethergoyf is pretty big here. All right, and it can't be dazed. So they have lots of creature removal in their deck. They're a control deck. Okay. They've got 2 basics now. Fatal Push. I can bring it back. Yeah, I can bring it back. Okay, so I have other things to do right now than bring it back, but it is nice knowing I can bring it back. I think we brainstorm here because we're doing it around Bowmaster, and we had the possibility of finding a Reanimate. Okay, Bowmasters is great. Dazes are awesome too because we can potentially double daze. We'll put this back, and I'll put back one of these, and we'll just pass with Daze Protected Force Up and 2 dazes of our own. Thoughtseize. I mean, if I just resolve the Bowmaster, I don't really care what happens after that. Do we want to daze this? If we daze it, we give him a free draw. I think we let it go. I'm sorry. If we daze it, we give them a free land drop because they'll have the land back in hand. Also, this Thoughtseize resolving does do 2 damage to them, so it's not nothing. Now they know that they need to dodge our dazes. They take the Borrower. All right. So unless they have a sweeper, we should have a pretty tasty Nethergoyf on the table this turn. There's the Borrower we knew we were going to draw. I think I'll just come in for a hug, and then I'll bring back my Nethergoyf here. Just in case they have a Wasteland, I'm going to go ahead and tap my lands like this. They know what to expect here. So we'll exile a creature, a land, an instant, and a sorcery. So I think this is a 3-4. 4-5. Wow, that's great. Yeah, we've got them on a clock for sure. The double dazes are really nice too. I mean, we could just bring it back again. Let's see, we have... yeah, we could just bring it back again. It'll be pretty small. I'm inclined to just hold the daze for something more substantial than that. It does take some time off our clock. Brazen Borrower is not the best attacker. I think I'm just going to go in for a hug, and then I'll just replay the Nethergoyf again. Instant, sorcery, creature, land. So it's just a 1-2, but it'll get bigger. And if you take issue with me being so defensive and playing so slowly here in terms of deploying threats, that's totally fine. The fact that they push our Nethergoyf instead of, like, I think it's fine to push our Nethergoyf. I don't want them pushing our Bowmaster. The reason they're not pushing our Bowmaster, by the way, is because they're holding out for their own Bowmaster, but we're not going to let their Bowmaster through. I'm going to hold that brainstorm, or this, in case I get a chance to brainstorm. And we'll just keep hitting them. We could go ahead and deploy end step Borrower. I think that's fine because if they are going to go after us, they're going to... I can tap this and keep Fatal Push up in case I need it for some reason. They're fetching. So I will absolutely double daze Bowmaster. Bowmaster is the card I fear the most here. Drown in the lock on my... Well, I don't want to lose my Bowmaster, so I'm going to bounce this. So it resolves, and now I'm going to go ahead and do this a second time. Bowmasters is incredibly important in Bowmaster, in a Bowmaster mirror, but also in a Beanstalk matchup, which we're in. Drew another Bowmaster, which is nice because now we're insulated from them having Wasteland. I'm just going to attack, and then I'm going to waste their Trop. This restricts their options. Even if they're able to Bowmaster this out of play, we still have lethal with this Fatal Push. All right, good game. Now that we know that we're on Bug Beans, with Drown in the Lock, tasty, spicy. Harbinger is not terrible against their deck because they are a 3-color deck. And that time they happen to find their basics, but they won't necessarily always find those. I think that Fatal Push is not good here. The only target is probably Bowmasters itself. And we have other ways we can deal with Bowmasters, such as our own Bowmasters. And then Nile Spellbomb is good. It cantrips. It stops Life from the Loam if they're playing that. It actually can stop that card, the Drown in the Lock card that they attempted to use there. On the draw, I think we cut a Daze for sure. Maybe just bring in another Spellbomb. Is 3 Spellbombs excessive? I do want to bring in an Engineered Explosives. Not only does it potentially buff our Goyfs, but it can blow up Carpet, which is a really powerful card against us. So we're not going to go Mana Denial this time. We're going to go Color Screw and like try to deny them key spells. Reanimating Troll is still just as good though. We didn't see Borrower from their deck, I don't think. And Fatal Push cannot kill a Troll. This is an exceptional hand. We probably do want to open Basic here, and we'll just fetch whenever. But we're going to be able to have Bowmaster Supremacy here, and that's very important. So they keep 7 as well. See if they Thoughtseize open. Ponder open. Reanimate is like an incredible powerhouse in our deck. Land would be good. Wasteland would be exceptional. Gosh. I don't think we stick the Goyf initially. I think we Surveil because I want to be able to find more lands because they are a Wasteland deck. Currently, if we just go get Underground Sea and Nethergoyf here, I mean, that is a clock. They waste us. We have Brainstorm to find another land. Yeah, I guess I'll just do that. I'm not going to play too timid. People in the comments have been like saying I play way too timid as far as Wasteland is concerned. I think 48% of decks have Wasteland, and most of those have 4 Wasteland. So it is a real card that you need to be prepared for. I mean, we're playing it. Our opponent wasted us as well. But if they don't have it, then, you know, the game does not get better. We are the beatdown here. And I definitely agree with that sentiment, and I appreciate people calling that out in the comments and pointing out when I'm being too shy. When I'm being irrationally shy. I need to be able to defend those decisions. Okay, so here they have... Okay, Thoughtseize is fine. They're going to definitely not like what they see here. They have to take the Reanimate probably. Taking the Bowmasters just opens up me reanimating Bowmaster around Daze. It's even more devastating. So, okay, yeah, and they agree. So now Nethergoyf's a 2-3. And if they Daze a Bowmaster, Nethergoyf will be a 3-4, but they may push or do something here. Okay, they haven't wasted, which is great. Ponder. They are, you know, building up for a big Murktide. That is something we have to think about here. I'm kind of inclined to Brainstorm, and then if I find a Wasteland, waste them while I hit them. Because every turn we're like wasting them and hitting them. Brainstorm does grow the Goyf as well. Another Goyf. Okay, so here's what I think we do. I think we drop this. Then we drop this. No, I think I want to Brainstorm first. Just in case I find a Daze to protect this. That would be good. Wasteland Spellbomb. So we do have the option of Spellbombing him here, and then that prevents them from being able to Murktide. That also grows the Goyf. We're not going to shuffle. Also, I'm worried, like if they Surgical, they wouldn't be able to Surgical because we don't have a Bowmasters in the graveyard. Yeah, I guess that's irrational. But like Thoughtseize into Surgical, I'm really thinking of like far out possibilities here. But there's nothing wrong with keeping these cards in hand against the known. I think I am going to just do this now. This may seem incredibly timid, but I'm trying to think of how we lose here. And one way we lose is our opponent Murktides us. Okay, so now we hit for 4, and next turn we can drop the second Goyf, and we can waste them. But we don't have to worry about them. Like even if they Beanstalk, it's not that huge of a deal because we have pressure on the table. Shielder's Edict, that's fine. Tamiyo. Yeah, I think we waste here and then we Goyf. They can crack clues and stuff. That's not a big deal. Gosh, another Goyf's a 5-6 currently. That's awesome. Go ahead and take this off the table. They are getting pretty quickly back up to the range in which they need to be able to Murk. My plan is to just cast 1 Orcish Bowmasters per turn for the rest of the game until they're dead. And that will complicate clue cracking and other action. They can't Kaito here because they don't have the mana. Baleful Strix is annoying, but they already know that we have the Bowmaster. So this is fleeting. Delta, they're not going to flip Tamiyo. Flipping Tamiyo would be giving her a death sentence probably. I'm going to start with this. Need to make sure that this is going to be out of the way before we attack. They could definitely force this. They don't. Go hug. Feeling pretty good about this one. I don't know that we could race a Merc now. They do have the mana for Merc. I think... Okay, they're hedge mazing. Yeah, they have very much have Merc mana here. They put a Strix in the yard? Oh, yeah, because we have Bowmaster. Never mind. That normally is really good, but it's not good when you don't have Bowmaster Supremacy. I can speak from experience because if you've been watching my channel, I published 3 back-to-back videos where I was playing 4x Baleful Strix decks. Holding Tamiyo back is a chump. Love to see it. It's not necessarily a chump. Let's go ahead and come in for a hug. They should block this. That's fine. I'll just take an extra turn to beat them down. So they should block the Bowmaster, not the Orc Army. All right, well, I think that was a mistake. But it may have been intentional. Maybe they're like, I can soak up more damage over here. And they're just trying to maximize the value of their chump. Okay, well, I'm happy to remove material from the table. I am going to attempt to cast this into Daze, because Daze slows them down. All right. We have another Bowmaster if they cast this out, but this can't block anything anyway, so it's probably not worth casting with their scarce mana. Just tempoing the heck out of these people, this poor Beanstalk opponent. I love Beanstalk. I'll play Beanstalk on the channel if you want me to play it, but it is rough with all the Bowmasters out there right now. All right, I stepped away and my opponent conceded while I was gone. Somebody knocked on the door. So yeah, that's a positive record. I think the list is great. I mean, these are just 4 of really good cards. I don't really have anything deep or profound to say about this. Reanimate has been an incredible card since it was printed, and it just gets better and better every year. Troll was definitely a huge boost to that. Being able to reanimate your dazed Bowmaster is pretty freaking strong. Yeah, this deck just beats up on fair strategies and certainly combo, but it is clearly weak to, I think, what did we lose to? Mardu tokens, like decks like that. Pretty rough. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to be playing a lot more variety of tempo decks, but I'm also going to be playing a lot of control decks. Basically anything with Force of Will and most likely Wasteland, but definitely Brainstorm will be on my channel. I think it would be reckless not to play Wasteland in 2025 if you're playing a control deck. I genuinely think it's a mistake to not play Wasteland in your control deck, because there will be situations where, your opponent plays like a Tabernacle of Pendrevale, or your opponent plays, a Cavern of Souls like Nadu. If you want to be able to beat Nadu, here's a pro tip. Pack Wasteland, because you may be able to stop one Nadu and the value that it carries with it, but you're not going to be able to stop turn after turn them Naduing. And the only way to genuinely stop that is to take out the Cavern that is enabling that. So I'll leave you with that little bit of opinion. That's just your opinion, man. But I hope you enjoyed that. And until next time, be excellent to each other and party on.